Hey everybody, Igor from the Better Life Academy here, and I'm coming to you with another piece of wisdom, as I call them. The things which I have learned throughout my life, the things what I've learned from others, the things which I have experimented with, and now I'm sharing it with you in order to help you to increase the quality of your life by borrowing those methods and those results of experiments of mine and implementing them into your life. Today I want to talk about the conditioning. This interesting word, but very important. And as soon as I started to condition myself every single morning, my life has changed for the better. That's why I want to share this information with you today, and I want to create a different perspective of yours to the things which might, be kind of obvious, but at the same time you maybe did not look at them before from that perspective, from that angle, what I'm going to introduce you to today. So before I kind of continue what conditioning is, I want to, make sure you understand that we are impacted by our environment, by the people we surround ourselves with, hugely, like widely, meaning we can experience so many things throughout the day which can kind of shift off our balance, which can actually turn us in a different direction and actually get us off the track on the journey, on the our way to get to our outcomes and results which we want to get out of that particular day. So I have this method and I have these suggestions of what one might do in order to actually keep that focus, keep that direction towards the real results and outcomes the one want to achieve throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, and make sure all those other things around us, external things, do not impact that and do not shift and get us off that track. And to illustrate that, how little thing which we might meet on our way during the day, little trigger, can actually impact our perceptions drastically. And I love this example. There have been a study made, and you can pull out it on the internet afterwards and take a look at it in more detail, but I will briefly describe what kind of study was it. So the study group was trying to figure out what kind of things and triggers can actually impact our perception, and whether we can meet something during the day, throughout the day, that actually can just, as I said, get us off the track completely. So what they did is they took two men. They were the part of the study group, and the assignment is to go to the coffee shop and kind of accidentally bump into the people. And as soon as they would bump into someone, they would just hand them the coffee and they would ask them to hold their cup of coffee while they would reach out in their pocket and get the phone. Only that thing. Two men, and they were assigned to 100 different people. So their task was to bump into 100 different people, hand them their coffee and ask them to hold their coffee while they would reach out in the pocket and get the phone out. As soon as they would get the phone out, they would get the cup of coffee back, say thank you, and say bye-bye. That's it. That's only interaction would happen in between those people, okay? So they've done it and they were doing it. The only different, though, a little caveat, obviously something should be different in order to understand the results of the experiment, right? The only different, though, is one of the men would hand iced coffee to all those people that person would bump into. But the other one was giving them hot cup of coffee to hold while reaching in the pocket for the phone. That was only the difference. The rest of the conversation, the words they say, the way how the man looked like was completely the same, and for good, okay? And now they started to do that experiment. As soon as they've done it, right, the other group of that study group were then meeting those same people somewhere else in the mall within 30 or 40 minutes. And they were playing and kind of, trying to improvise the different kind of group, a different survey as they called it. And they were offering those people $20 to spend 3 minutes with them and do something they will ask them to do. And like 95% out of all those people which were used in that first part of the experiment, the ones our two men were bumping into, 95% of them agreed because, $20 for 3 minutes, why not? So they were asked to take a book, they were given a book, and read a little paragraph out of the book, where main character of that book would do something, right? There was some information about the person, and that person would do something within the context of the book. So every single person of that study group, they were just, reading the paragraph. And after reading the paragraph, the study group was asking those people to answer one and only question. Can you please describe the main character in this book out of that paragraph which you have just read? And by the way, all those people, two groups, the ones who were handed cold coffee and the ones who were handed warm coffee, they read the same paragraph. No different there as well. So guess what? 81% out of the group who were handed cold cup of coffee, the description of that main character of the book was as follows. That person is cold and uncaring. Cold and uncaring. 81%. 80 people out of 100. 81 people out of 100 said that. Now another group was asked that same question. And another group who were handed hot cup of coffee by our man experimenters, they said that the character of the book was generous, was warming and loving. Here you have it. Guys, just imagine that, this little thing, someone bumping into us and just handing us the cold or hot cup of coffee to hold for a couple of seconds, then taking it back and leaving, that little piece of event, this information, this touching has changed our perception. How do we then absorb the information which is following after that particular event and trigger? In this case, after they were handed the coffee cup, they were asked to describe basically the person, the character in the book. And descriptions were directly affected by the fact and the trigger and event those people have experienced before, 30-40 minutes before. How crazy is that? Now, multiply all that by those little things and events and triggers like that, which happened with us every single day. Multiply it, I don't know, by 100, maybe 1,000. So many little details are happening with us. So imagine that. And all those little details, what they do with us, they condition us in different ways. They basically rip us apart. And we, through the day, react to other things. And, we change perceptions of other things one way or another. We are not being consistent. That means this is the recipe for disaster. By disaster and under the disaster, I mean the recipe to getting us off the track, to getting us just to go with the flow, without any goal, without any focus, without achieving any outcomes and results during that day. Because we are impacted by all those external triggers and events which happened with us. And that happens if we do not condition ourselves first. We gotta condition ourselves, in my opinion, on our own terms, as I say in the title of this video. I want to make sure I condition myself first in a way those other triggers and events I'm about to meet during this day would not impact me at all, or maybe impact me a little bit, but my conditioning is going to be so strong that I'm going to be coming back on the track and I'm going to be getting to those outcomes and results which I have planned for today. Make sense? So now, how would you do that? Well, I suggest you start with your morning. As soon as you wake up, you have the exercise, the conditioning exercise, whatever works for you, but condition yourself And I have mentioned about it already in my videos, in my social media profiles, how I do that. First of all, I meditate. I use like 5 to 10 minutes to meditate, to sit with myself, to listen to myself, to get in peace with myself. And that is the conditioning, that is the framework I feed into my mind. And my mind will be straightforward, my mind will sit still, my mind will be calm if I will get the worrisome triggers or events in my life. If I will get some difficulties on the way throughout the day, my mind will help me to get back into the focus, because I have practiced it in the morning already. First, before even get myself into this crazy world and get affected by all those triggers and events. Another thing what I do, and I also mentioned it in my videos, is I'm practicing gratitude. I'm trying to remember what I'm grateful for. I not only listen it, but I'm reliving it by getting the emotions out. Right? I'm trying also to see and look and find the things what I'm proud of. And I'm doing it by looking at my past, by looking at my present, and by imagining and dreaming about my future. And all those positive things, all those goals, all those dreams, all those positive emotions condition me. And I built myself kind of the corset around me, like this aura around me, which then will just bounce back all those triggers and events, literally, and that happens. And the better you do in the mornings, the better you condition yourself in the morning, the better day and results of the day you get back. Does that make sense? So for all of you, and by the way, you should count me into that group who does not believe in meditation or doing something in the morning, and I did not believe it either before. Now I want to announce to you and hopefully help you to open your eyes. Call it whatever. Don't call it meditation. Call it priming. You're priming yourself. Call it your private conditioning time. Call it whatever. But that thing what you do in the morning by letting yourself to think your thoughts through, letting yourself to focus on yourself, letting yourself to be grateful, letting yourself to know and understand and list all those things what you're proud of and just feel great and positive, they condition you. Whatever you call it, as a result, they make you better and they make you to eliminate all those wrong and negative perceptions which you might get into your head while going through the day by exposing yourself to those triggers and events which are happening around you eventually and randomly. Does that make sense? I hope it does, and I hope it really will help you to actually, build this strong conditioning around yourself and go through the day and get to your outcomes and your results in the shortest and the quickest way as possible. And by the way, if you need help here, guys, I'm about to launch this course named A Shortcut to a Better Life. Literally a couple of days left, and it will be available to you. I'm going to be coming out with the announcement. Please, take a look at this. It might help you because it's filled with different methods and techniques and experiences and experiments and theory which will help you to get the shortcut and shave off the years of the learning curve, in order for you to achieve and get those skills you need to achieve anything in your life. Okay? All right, it's enough out of me today. I really hope it was useful, and I know I say it a lot, but that's how I truly feel. And condition yourself and just make sure that conditioning corset which you built around yourself is built by you, is built before you meet any other triggers and events on your way going through the day. And you are thinking, as they say, proactively, not retrospectively. Okay? All right, Igor from the Better Life Academy. Enjoy your day, guys.